Well, welcome in to My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital. I'm Landon alongside my co-host, my brother, the more handsome of the duo, Austin. And Austin, dude, we're in week number 9. Oh my goodness! Here for this matchups and pick show here on MPW Digital. Really excited to kick it off. Austin, I gotta tell you, man, we gotta tell the folks at home. Look, if you're gonna watch any show of My Dogs Are Barking, I think this is the one you need to watch. And here's the reason why. At the end of this show, we always do an against the odds segment where Austin and I both pick an underlying money dog. And Austin is 3 for 3 on his picks. First off, the past 3 weeks, he's hit them all. But total, he and I are both 4 for 4 over the past 2 weeks on picking underlying money dogs to win outright. So I'm just saying, if you're going to listen to anything, listen to the end of the show. It's important, is it not, Austin?
No, it is for sure. And we're 5 for 6 for our picks. And so, I mean, it's always good to do this before Saturday. And like we said, we got another great slate of football and we have our picks prepared. And we're very just excited to watch the Bulldogs play and watch this college football. Another great week, like you said, week 9. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time, man. I do want to cover just a little bit of news around the league. Southern Miss fired Will Hall this week. Understandable, they just had some struggles over the past couple of years, and that's a program that really does care about football and about doing well in athletics. And they've struggled even under Jay Hopson. They struggled. So I hope they can get that right. Derek Nix is kind of like the pick that seems to make the most sense. OC over at Auburn, former player. The athletic director mentioned that having ties to the university and to the state is not like of the most importance. And honestly, at any time in college football, it probably matters the least now that the transfer portal is there, right? I mean, like it doesn't matter as much as it used to. But that league has proved that you can have some success in that league through the portal, through getting some guys, developing them, and you can win at Southern Miss. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but a great place to be is there in Hattiesburg. I love Hattiesburg. I love Southern Miss. Our uncle, who's a lawyer in the state of Mississippi and in Hattiesburg, went to Southern Miss. So I hope that goes well. It really sucks for Will Hall to lose his job there. But at the end of the day, it's results. The results are king, right? At the very end of the day. Anything you want to say about that, Austin?
Yeah, and we got a lot of family down at Southern Miss, and obviously, they want to bring back what they have. But in the transfer portal, you talked about the transfer portal. I mean, they haven't. The transfer portal has been a massive negative for them. I mean, every semi-decent player that they get, I mean, pretty much just leaves. And so Will Hall just wasn't able to get the guys that he needed in the portal. I mean, guys that he gets are like Ole Miss and Mississippi State players that never play a down. And to be honest, they just weren't good at all. And so when they get to Hattiesburg, they're not. I mean, they're just not good in general. So hopefully this new guy, I mean, even if they get the guy from Auburn and just anybody they get, has got to be excited about the portal and to be able to get guys from these good teams that just don't play a lot, but they got to pan out. And so, and you got to keep your players. I mean, keeping your players is so important, especially at a small school like Southern Miss. So it really does suck for Will Hall, but I do understand it.
Yeah, Frank Gore Jr. Was really the last player that was there that did really well. Other than that, man, it's been a minute. So that does suck, but we'll keep you updated on that one. Also, for this upcoming weekend for Mississippi State, Mario Craver is likely out for the game. He's questionable, but it just does not look great for Mississippi State as they are hosting Arkansas this weekend. We got to that game today. Had a preview show with John Neighbors yesterday, Wednesday, had a preview show with John Neighbors from Inside Arkansas and Locked On Razorbacks. Just kind of give a preview for that team. They're a hungry team that expects to win this game. I'm just telling you, they are not thinking they're not going to win. That they have full confidence that they will. So that will be interesting. So go back and take a look at that on MPW Digital. But Mario Craver is a huge part of this offense. If he is out, I believe Stonka Burnside is the backup. Am I wrong on that, Austin?
It just matters what they do. I've heard people say they're going to move Kevin Coleman to the slot and put Jordan Mosley out wide. I I mean, Jordan Mosley had a very hot pass in the first 3 or 4 games, but he hasn't really done much. Stonka hasn't really done much on anything offensively, but we really just haven't seen him. He really hadn't had a chance to. So yeah, it's going to be they're either going to move Kevin Coleman to the slot where Mario Craver is and put Jordan Mosley where Kevin Coleman plays now, or they're going to put Stonka in. But yeah, I'm excited to see whatever they do. But it really hurts to lose Mario Craver for sure.
Yeah, he's such a big offense as a true freshman. He's been unreal. I mean, he is. I cannot remember honestly since Chad Bumpus. I don't think there's been a player like Mario Craver to play as a true freshman at the wide receiver position as well as Mario Craver has. He's been sensational. So Mississippi State will miss him, but they've got a lot of depth. That is for certain. But we did want to take some time and introduce a new sponsor. If we had like a new sponsor alert song, we would be playing it. And it is ARPA's Coffee and Bar in Starkville. ARPA's understands that great food and drinks are best enjoyed in the company of friends and loved ones. Their warm and inviting atmosphere creates a perfect backdrop for laughter, conversation, and shared memories. Whether you're seeking a cozy spot to catch up over coffee, a lively gathering place to celebrate special occasions, or a vibrant late night hangout, their friendly staff, pictured here, their friendly staff is dedicated to ensuring your experience is nothing short of exceptional. Located in the heart of Starkville in the Cotton District, as you see pictured here, if you're watching here on YouTube. Here's the deal, though. If you mention that you heard about them on My Dogs Are Barking podcast, you receive 15% off of your order. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty sweet. So just mention you're a listener of My Dogs Are Barking podcast and receive 15% off of anything, whether it's a drink special, a coffee, some of their food, whatever this is. I don't know what. I'll just be completely honest. I have no idea what that is, but I would like to try it. So make sure you try ARPA's. Super, super glad and excited for them to partner with us. Always love our sponsor partners. Austin, looking at these matchups for this week, there's some intriguing games on this list. We'll get to Mississippi State and Arkansas in just a moment. I did want to cover. Let's look at Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Oklahoma has Jackson Arnold starting back at quarterback this week. They fired the offensive coordinator Seth Luttrell. Obviously, Oklahoma fans are missing Jeff Lebby, missing his offensive prowess. He's top 5 in the nation last season at Oklahoma, and they're down bad. They're in a really tough spot. And then you got Ole Miss, and Ole Miss had a bye week this past week, and they are one loss away from likely being eliminated from the college football playoff. More than likely, right? So they host Oklahoma in Oxford, and they are 20-point favorites. Give me the Ole Miss Rebels, but I'm going to take Oklahoma in the points. I think Oklahoma keeps it within 20. I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout. I think Jackson Arnold's really motivated to score in this game. What do you think this game's going to be like, Austin?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I don't think Oklahoma is going to score a lot of points. They just lost Seth Luttrell, their offensive coordinator, who he's been terrible this season. So hopefully that gives them a little spark offensively. But to be honest, I don't think they're going to have a great week. And then you got Ole Miss, who they've been mad. They've been mad the past 2 weeks. They've been furious. And then they had a bye week last week to get another week of practice and another break in. So yeah, give me Ole Miss. I think I'm going to take the under 2 just because Oklahoma's defense can get a lot of stops. And this Ole Miss offense needs to really lock in because they've been struggling the past couple weeks. So I'm going to take the under 2, but yeah, give me Ole Miss to win it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this regarding Ole Miss. There's been a lot of people talk about this. We'll mention it briefly. Man, for a team that is not in any sort of way to dunk on Ole Miss. Ole Miss has so much more talent than Mississippi State. They seem to have a much bigger collective NIL than Mississippi State. So all those things, get that out of the way. Man, if they lose another game, I'm not saying they'll lose this game, but they lose to Georgia or something. What's the rest of the season going to be like for them? Like, are they going to just say, "Look, I'm out. What are we playing for? Like, it's over." After all the talking coming into the season, you have to wonder what their motivation is going to be, going forward if they are to lose one more game.
Yeah, no, I entirely agree with you. I think if they lose this game, because let's be honest, I know we're a Mississippi State podcast, and I know, it's not rare for a Mississippi State fan to talk bad about Ole Miss, but a lot of these Ole Miss guys aren't playing for Ole Miss. They're playing for the money. They're playing to win a national championship. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially in 2024. But if they have 3 losses, they're not going to the playoff. And especially if they lose against Oklahoma, I mean, they're for sure not going to go to the playoff. They still got to play Georgia. So I don't know what the turnover is going to be like going out of the season. I don't know if guys are still going to want to play or if they're going to declare for the draft. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I mean, it might be panic mode. I mean, I don't want to say panic mode, but it's just an underwhelming season, I'll say, for the
It's a
Rebels. If
disappointment for sure.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if they lose, if they go 8-4, they're going to be very disappointed. So we'll see what goes on in Oxford in the offseason. But if they go 8-4, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because especially for those who are giving hard earned money, and then you see a team who, like on paper, should be, I mean, should be in the playoff. Anything we heard that all offseason. Anything less than the play, and I agree with it. Less than the playoff is a disappointment. Well, if I'm giving money and the team misses the playoffs after this is set up to be such a great year, like, dude, I'm not going to give $100 a month. Like you're just less motivated. Now, there's a lot of donors that Ole Miss like that. They'll be fine. I'm just saying it's in college football. One of the great things about it, there's a lot of storylines. This is a storyline to keep an eye on. Also in this game, Jackson Arnold, if he has a really poor performance and doesn't play the rest of the season, this might be his curtain call at Ole Miss, or pardon me, at Oklahoma, for even though he's just in his first season. Just a thought to keep in there. The next game is LSU and Texas A&M. Take this, Austin. Texas A&M is favored in this game by 2.5 points. They're hosting LSU at 6:30 kickoff. LSU coming off a really big win over Arkansas. When I say big, I mean like they scored a lot of points. And Garrett Nussmeier played incredible on McCready and Siskey this week. AJ McCarron was talking about Garrett Nussmeier and just how great of a player he is, how he tried to get Alabama to recruit him and take him. But he's doing great things at LSU now for sure. Then you look at A&M. A&M beats Mississippi State last week, but really an underwhelming. I mean, for the amount of talent they have versus what Mississippi State has. And in this game, I'm taking LSU to win this game. I just think Nussmeier is a better quarterback. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, LSU's won the bigger game. Yeah, A&M played pretty. I mean, pretty underwhelming against us. Allowed us to stay in the game. So yeah, give me LSU. They got the massive win against Ole Miss. They're still on a high. They played great last week, and I think that they're going to remain hot and go 7-1 by beating A&M. I don't think A&M has the offensive firepower to keep up with LSU's offensive firepower, and for that reason, I got LSU.
Yeah, I do too. But man, it's going to be interesting. LSU, top of the SEC, undefeated in SEC play. Watch out. Watch out. I know they struggled here and there, but that they're headed motivated for the playoff. And Brian Kelly late in the season, man, I could see him doing really well. Alabama and Missouri are playing. Alabama's favored by 13.5. Missouri looks like doubtful for Brady Cook, their quarterback, and they're starting running back Noel. But Alabama's only favored by 2 touchdowns. Awesome. What's your thoughts?
I mean, that Missouri defense can get stops. I don't really know. I mean, I got Bama winning, obviously, but Brady Cook. I mean, they've really been playing through Brady Cook, and then their leading rusher is going to be out too. So I got Bama. Honestly, I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take the over on that. I think that Bama's going to want to score a whole lot of points, and I think they're going to be able to against Missouri. And if Brady Cook is not playing, I don't think they're going to score a lot of points, to be honest, and especially without their leading rusher. So yeah, give me Bama.
Yeah, Bama only favored by 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I think they're going to score a lot more than that. This is essentially a playoff game. Like, whoever loses this is done. And you talk about mentally checking out for the season. Dude, if Alabama loses this game, oh, geez. I mean, there's no way they lose it, right? There's no way. And same thing for Missouri. Like, is Luther Burden going to be like, I'm out, man. I'm going to be a top 10 pick in the draft. And no thanks. Yeah, I'm done for the season kind of thing. So that's another storyline to watch that. But yeah, I think Bama rolls, no pun intended. They will beat Missouri handedly. Um, Texas is going at Vanderbilt. Texas is favored by 19 points. Man, Diego Pavia and the Commodores are getting to host Texas in this game. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, give me Texas. Vanderbilt, obviously they got that massive win at home against Bama, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it again. Texas is going to be playing mad after that. I mean, very, very disappointing game last Saturday against Georgia at home. So yeah, give me Texas, and they're favored by 18.5. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take the over on that. I think they're going to be playing mad. They're going to be want to score a lot of points, and Vanderbilt's got a lot of film, and so I think the Texas defense is going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, I think Texas is going to be able to score. I mean, look, Vanderbilt's been incredible this season compared to what we all thought. I mean, everyone thought they get the win versus Kentucky on the 12th. End up beating Ball State last week by 10. Kind of underwhelming performance, but they've won 3 in a row, and now they're hosting Texas. Yeah, I think Texas is gonna win this game by more than 20. Unfortunately for Vanderbilt, they've done really well, but Texas kind of was embarrassed last week versus Georgia. So you have to think like they're trying to say, hey, let's prove something. Let's see if we can do something to push this forward. We arrive, Austin, at Mississippi State and Arkansas. And Arkansas is favored by 7 points. So initially in the early part of the week, they were favored by 8.5. It's gone down a little bit. So they're favored just to win by a touchdown in Starkville. Man, this is a game Mississippi State fans really, really feel like they can win. For a 1-6 team, these fans have gotten a little cocky. You know what I mean? Like, geez Louise, man, we're 1-6. But because of the play of Michael Van Buren and because of the play of Kevin Coleman, Mario Craver is going to be out in this game. But like, there's a lot of things to consider, in this game. What's your feeling on Arkansas and Mississippi State?
Yeah, guys. I mean, if you haven't watched already, we have a complete breakdown for this game 2 episodes ago. So make sure y'all check this out. But yeah, I believe I said 27-24. I got the Bulldogs winning. I'm really glad to see the line went down. And yeah, I don't know if Arkansas's starting running back is going to be playing. We don't know. Losing Mario Craver is going to hurt this offense. I mean, he's been so good, so explosive for this offense. But I mean, if people just pack Davis Wade and we really just come out there wanting to play and get that offense rolling and just get enough stops defensively. I'm just so tired of talking bad about this defense. But if we just got to get a couple stops defensively, a couple turnovers that we need, and we can pull it out. I mean, I'm feeling. I don't want to say I'm feeling good, but I'm feeling all right going into this game. 1-6, Mississippi State's due for a win, right? I mean, please just give us an SEC win. It would be so nice, and I think we get it done in Starkville on Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you what, Austin, I'll talk about this game here in just a second because we're moving to our Against the Odds segment, um, where we've been really successful, man. 4 out of 4. And for those who if they were to take what we've said in the money line underdogs that have gone 4 for 4, gotten them all right, they might make some cash, man. They might even become, I don't know, dare I say, rich. But that brings us to this. What does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. Skip Langley is your Batesville, Mississippi, Edward Jones advisor, serving clients in the area and across the state of Mississippi. Count on him for financial strategies that can help support a life you love, because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact him today at 662-563-9843, and together you can find your rich. Edward Jones, member SIPC. We move to our first pick in the Against the Odds segment. Austin, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I've had a feeling about this game. It appears as if the stars are aligning. Mississippi State is who I'm taking outright. They are underdogs by 7 points. They are plus 192 on the money line. I'm taking Mississippi State. I think that this is the way rebuilds build momentum. Is early part of the season, they clearly showed they're a bad team. They got better, clearly, versus incredibly difficult. I'm not sure what everyone in the world I've ever known has texted me at this moment, but they got better at against very difficult competition on the road at Texas, on the road at Georgia, at home versus Texas A&M. It just feels like they're going to put it all together, and I'm picking them against this Texas A&M team who is without their best running back, Jaquindon Jackson, I believe is his name, is their number one running back. He's out. It's going to be a freshman playing for Arkansas at the running back, Braylon Russell. Taylon Green was on 100% last week versus LSU. I know there's potential issues with Taylon Green running the ball all over Mississippi State. I can see that too. I just think the Bulldogs are going to put it all together. I think they end up winning this game incredibly high scoring, 41-37.
Wow, I mean, that's a great pick. I mean, just touching up on it, last year I watched this game with you and it was 7-3. And you just said it's going to be incredibly high scoring, and I agree with that. I mean, that's so wild. It was literally 7-3 last year. But my against the odds pick, I'm going to go BYU beats UCF. BYU's been hot all season. They're 7-0. Nobody thought they were going to be 7-0, but they're sitting at number 11. But down in Orlando, UCF they've been pretty good this season. They're 3-4. But Gus Malzahn has a very, explosive offense. KJ Jefferson, who was Arkansas starting quarterback back in the day, he's got him doing pretty good offensively. But give me BYU. I really don't see why UCF is favored in this game, other than like it's a home game for them. BYU beat Kansas State, Kansas State's been solid this year, 38-9 early in the year, smoked them. They beat SMU, who's with Rhett Lashley, who's a very, very genuine team, has a ranked win this year. They beat Arizona. Arizona's on a downward spiral, but they beat them by 22 points, I believe. And then they beat Oklahoma State I believe it was 2 weeks ago. They beat Oklahoma State by 3 points. And so they got a great win for them to prove themselves this week, and I think they'll do it by beating UCF.
I like it. Yeah, that game does not make a lot of sense for them to be the underdogs. And the same thing happened. They were underdogs to Baylor earlier on in the year. And it didn't make a lot of sense. They ended up beating Baylor, obviously. UCF, they can run the ball. They ran the ball really well last week and still ended up losing. So maybe that's why they're favored. But yeah, I don't get it either. BYU, same thing. They're on a collision course for the playoff. LSU looks like they're on a collision course for the playoff. There's just a lot of, college football is the greatest thing, man. It is the greatest thing. And for Mississippi State fans, having your first SEC win might just happen this weekend. There's not been a lot of weekends where we've said that this season. I don't think there's been any, actually. So things are looking up. So make sure you stay tuned on MPW Digital. We have some really cool guests coming up soon. We were glad to have some great shows this week. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, our X. It's just at MyDogsPod. If you're a TikTok person, scroll on over there and follow us there at MyDogsPod. We post clips from the show, all of our various shows put into one place. So make sure you give us a follow there. Austin, anything else to finish with, my man?
No, Mississippi State fan, just go out there. 11:45 is the kick. We got a huge, massive game, statement game for the Bulldogs this Saturday. Make sure you're watching if you can. If you can go to the game, go head on to Davis Wade. They need all the help they can get. Michael Van Buren needs to know that you're backing him, and Jeff Lebby needs to know that too. And we have the highest students attendance since 2014 this season. And I didn't know that until today. I read it. And yeah, I thought that was so cool. Jeff Lebby said that today. So make sure y'all are going out to the game, but just enjoy a great Saturday, and it's going to be good. We're heading off to the pumpkin patch with the family, but after that, we're going to be locked in on some college football. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. Hey, if you stayed this long, we sure do appreciate you. Make sure you give us a follow at My Dogs Pod everywhere you get your content. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.